I got myself a Steam Deck, and spoiler alert, it's blooming brilliant! If you want a normal Steam Deck review where they talk about how it plays Elden Ring or whatever, there's a million of them on YouTube. But on this one, I'm focusing on whether it's good for short sessions and what I think is cool about it. So ticking off the is it good for short sessions section straight away, the answer is it's fantastic. In fact, it'll allow you to play some games you previously weren't able to. How? Well, if you've ever owned a Nintendo Switch before, you'll be aware that you can just press the power button and put it into suspend mode, then come back later and be exactly where you were before. I was really interested to see if Steam had implemented something similar, and the amazing news is they absolutely have. Here, you can see me deciding to put it into suspend mode in the middle of a cutscene in Lost Judgment, then picking it back up later and the game continuing from where it was, seamlessly. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this will be an absolute game changer for some people, including me. You want to play the JRPG, which has an hour's worth of cutscenes and tiny bits of gameplay before you can even press save, but only have half an hour spare a day? Now you can! Play what you can, then just tap the power button and put it down. Just make sure it's not going to run out of charge. Absolutely phenomenal. One thing the Steam Deck has done for me that the Switch didn't is interest me in mobile gaming. I really don't like using my Switch handheld, and I never really got why until using the Steam Deck. It turns out the Switch is just really rubbish to use, as these horrible toy sticks. The buttons feel bad and holding the controllers just feels rubbish as well. With the Steam Deck you've got proper moulded grips, real good Joy-Cons, buttons with nice travel, etc. It feels great to use. And the screen is lovely too, although I did get the 512GB model primarily for the screen improvements if I'm honest. It can handle most games, but as you all know I don't focus heavily on the AAA side of things. It's a brilliant indie game machine and can handle a lot more than Steam too. You want your Epic Games catalogue on there? Sure, I sure did. I wanted Hades on there because Hades! GOG? Totally. Game Pass? Well, no. Apparently you can stream it, but I didn't try. However, Xbox Game Pass absolutely hooks into Windows, and as this thing doesn't run Windows, you're out of luck there. This brings me to my next point. Steam have been fighting hard for years to try and make gaming on Linux a thing. And you know what? Those sly dogs, they've only gone and managed it. Unlike the old Ubuntu-based SteamOS, the Steam Deck is based on Arch Linux. So they clearly wanted a more customizable distro to work with. And combined with Proton, it works wonderfully. I even tried a game that had been delisted from Steam for years, Droplets. It had a question mark next to whether it would work, but yeah, no problem. I just had to reconfigure the controls and happy days. That silly little puzzle game I have a hankering for every so often is perfectly happy to run on the deck. Now, do they hide away the operating system? No. You can go straight to the desktop from Power Options and there you are. You're in KDE. Not only is this a great handheld console, but combined with a dock, keyboard and mouse, it's a fully fledged Linux workstation. Want to do some dev on it? Sure. VS Code is even right there in their Discover App Store. Valve's attitude seems to be, well, it's your machine, do what you want on it. And this is so refreshing. When you look at what other console manufacturers do, where putting custom software on is not only discouraged, but actually breaks their policies, and they can ban your account for it. Valve are being a bit more open source about it, and it's so good. This helps the deck be a great emulation station too. The controls are all remappable completely to keyboard, mouse, joypad, even action sets which remap everything, giving you an entirely new set of inputs, which means you can pretty much do whatever you like. You can even assign 2 keys to a button in case you need to press shift and up arrow, for example, so some of those old games that require certain key combinations to work properly can be played easily. The other good news is that it has a micro SD slot for more storage. Channels on here suggest you need an A2, and that's probably true for AAA titles, but if you're going to store smaller indie titles and ROMs for emulation, A1 is perfectly fine. It's what I have. Steam will give you the option of where to store it when you install the game anyway, so you can be intelligent about it. There are complaints about the battery, but that's only really when playing very demanding games, as they, unsurprisingly, draw more power. Other than that, I never ran into any issues. The Steam Deck is a great machine, and an absolute game changer for those who are short on time. God, I might actually be able to play Persona 5 now.